So yesterday, we did not get as deep as we had hoped when it comes to goal setting. And I told Alan, I said, we got to make it smaller. We got to make it smaller. We got to make it smaller. We got to make it land. I am not going to stop doing this freaking episode until we make it smaller and we make it land. So we're going to do it again, baby.
Some people are macroscopic thinkers who then go micro. Other people are microscopic thinkers who then go macro. And I think I'm going to try my best to start micro and go macro.
Next Level Nation today for episode number 2146. I'm all over the place. I can't figure out what I'm doing. I don't even know who I am anymore. And I'm running on another 60-something sleep score. It hasn't been a great week for the kid in his sleep. But we're going to be okay. We will persevere. We're going to do goal setting part 3. That's the answer. That's the title that I have right now. Okay. Recap for those of you who might not have heard. We were talking about goals in a previous episode. Alan said, hey, we should really do an episode where you ask me questions about goals. I said, I love it. Let's do that. But I really want to make sure it lands. Mm-hmm. So in the previous episode, I told Alan, I said, we got to stop using you as an example. We have to find a more tangible example that's based on more of the human experience, because I don't think you're relatable in the human experience in the best way.
Appreciate it.
Of course. And so that we're back. Okay. We left off in the previous episode with me saying, I think you go 50 years into the future and then reverse engineer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think 1 year, a yearly goal is a stretch. I would say a quarterly goal is probably a good place to start for everyone.
Nice.
So how do I know? We got 50 days or whatever left in the quarter, but let's say we get to the end of Q3, we're getting ready to be in Q4. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do I know? What the fuck do I do to set goals? How do I know? Where do I start? What do I look at? Do I look at the end of the year? Do I look at my previous results? Where do I start?
So there's 63 days left in the quarter. October 1st is the beginning of Q4. You start with, assuming you're going micro to macro, which is what we're trying to do, and this is really hard for me because I've never practiced this. Mm-hmm. You have to look at your past and see what you've achieved thus far.
Okay. I'm gonna have
Unless you're a macroscopic thinker, in which case, don't do that. But yes, we're going to pretend you are. So assuming you're a microscopic thinker who goes micro to macro, look at your past and see what you've achieved thus far.
Okay. So reflect.
So, yes.
Okay.
And yep. What did you achieve last quarter? So January, February, March is Q1. April, May, June is Q2. So what did you achieve in April, May, June?
Okay. So reflect and measure.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna make a framework right now. I got my notepad out. We're ready. I'm in a good mood. I love podcasting. It's fun.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes it's terrible. All right. Reflect and measure. Then what? So now I know. I look back. All right. I did 90 days. I did 60 workouts. I did 12 dates with my partner. Mm-hmm. And I made X amount of dollars. 90 days, 3 months. Let's say I made $30,000.
Well, so now things get a little more complex. I'm going to try my best to explain. So now the question becomes, do you want a process goal or a results goal? And there's pros and cons to each.
Okay.
I'll explain the difference. A results goal is 10 pounds in 10 weeks. That's a results goal with a timeline and a target.
Okay.
A process goal is a number of workouts. It does get confusing because technically when you hit your 60 workouts, you hit a result, quote unquote, but it's not the same. A result is an outcome that's tangible in the future. So let's say you want to make $5,000 this month. That's a results goal. A process goal would be, I want to show up to work on time every day.
Yep.
So you got to decide for you. So I think process goals are super valuable for emotionally driven people.
I would agree.
I think results goals are really powerful for people who have really high self-belief.
How do I know the process is going to lead to the result?
That's actually a great question. And the truth is you don't unless you reverse engineer it, and that requires macroscopic thinking. So if you reflect and measure and then look at what you achieved last quarter. So do you have any clients we could use as an example anonymously? I could probably do this.
I feel like you'd probably be better suited because you're setting quarterly goals where I'm not always.
I got to pick someone who I'm very grateful at this point to be coaching a lot of very, very successful people. So I got to pick someone who's more on the statistical norm. How interesting is it for me to say I coach a bunch of millionaires?
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. It is awesome. Okay, so there's someone I'm thinking of who is going to make, assuming everything stays consistent, is going to make $105,000 in the next 12 months.
Okay.
So let's divide that by 4 to get a quarterly goal.
That would be 20.
Call it 100 to make it easy. So 25K.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so what's 25 divided by 3?
8.3.
Nice work. So she is going to make an average of $8,333 a month. And if I multiply that by 12, it goes to 100K. Yeah. Okay, now let's break that down. So that's per month. Now divide that by 30. So 8,333, divide that by 30. You have to make $277 a day.
Okay.
That's what she has to do. Now, how much does she make an hour? She makes about $40 an hour. All right, so let's do 277 divided by 40. She has to work at least 7. She has to have 7 clients a day. On average, sometimes 10, sometimes 4. But she has to have on average 7 clients a day to make 100K.
Right.
And that's the way that I set goals. That's like the simplest possible. That's as a business coach, that's all we do. I make it sound like it's all we do as if it's simple, but you essentially take the dream and then break it into what you have to do today.
Yes.
So that 7%, for example, that you and I talked about in the last episode, that leads to 30%, that leads to doubling your business every 2.5 years, you could break that down to the day as well. And then you could measure that. And so, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So we reflect and we measure. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure, I want to leave here with a framework. Reflect and measure, and then.
So what did you do in Q2?
Yep.
April, May, June. Yep. What did you do in April, May, and June under health, wealth, and love?
Yep.
Boom. Now you decide on a results goal or a process goal.
Now you have to decide whether or not you're happy with the outcome of what you did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the truth is, dude, it almost doesn't matter if you are or aren't. Because
let's say you accomplished it.
Are you, in this scenario, did the person have Q2 goals? And they're just upping the ante? Or is this someone who just isn't?
I think there's two versions. Yeah, I think there's two versions. I think version 1 is they had Q2. Version 2 is they didn't.
Okay, if you did have Q2 goals, you're already measuring it. Just measure it and then up the ante by a certain percentage.
What
in
percentage?
Our case, 7%.
Okay, good. This is good. What percentage do you up the ante without looking 50 years into the future and reverse engineering it? I know.
It's impossible to answer that question. Because that's like saying, optimally, how do I get to 42?
Optimally, yes. You cannot have an optimal answer. Give me a baseline. It entirely
depends on the person.
Good. What does it depend on in the person?
The level of self-efficacy.
Okay.
The level of competence.
So
skills.
As an example.
It's based on their potential, in my opinion. Yeah.
The person who has to do an average of, what was it? 7 calls a day?
Yeah.
7 times 4 is 28.
Yep, that's an actual client.
If they're just doing this for the first time, and they're like, you know what? I want to make $100,000 this year. 6 figures, nice. I'm in. I want to do that. Let's say you're starting at the beginning of the year, because you're not going to make $100,000 in the next 4 months, most likely. When they sit down and say, okay, in order to make $100,000, I need to make X amount per week, which means I need to make X amount per day, and I know I am at X amount per hour. Mm-hmm. If they say, okay, I have to average 7 calls, fuck that. There's no way I'm doing 7 calls.
She's doing 49 a week on average.
And she's cranking.
Yeah.
Crank it.
She'll be very successful.
1,
she has no fucking life.
She has no life. 2, she didn't start there.
Yeah, agreed.
She's been doing this for X amount of years, right?
By the way, the person listening, I'm joking about you not having a life. She's not going to care. She probably said the same thing.
I was going to say, I don't know.
She loves what she does, right?
I don't know who this person is, but I'm guessing they don't have a life.
They are extremely, extremely focused.
This is why I think goal setting is so challenging, because 100K breaks down to X amount per month, X amount per week, X amount per day.
Can the month.
Okay.
Because the month gets wonky, and you know this.
Because there's 5
12
weeks.
months versus 52 weeks.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. The math doesn't work. So the math doesn't math. So every week is 7 days. Every year is 365 days. And every year has 52 weeks in it. Also, think in a 12-month rolling cycle. So it's July 30th. This is something I've never shared. I think this would be of value.
Cool.
It's July 30th. I'm thinking about July 30th, 2026. So at all times, it's a 12-month cycle in my head.
Okay.
So by July 30th, 2026, I want to have this result, which means I need to do this today. And it does seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, quarters, decades, years, decades, lifetime.
Micro. Let's get back to it, baby.
Seconds. Yeah.
Let's get back to it.
You can literally break it down to the second if you want. But
I don't want
do that.
It's too
Unless
much.
you know what you want.
Yeah, it's too much.
Okay.
Too much. Okay. Reflect, measure. The third thing would be what? Shoot. Remeasure. Strategize. What is the third thing where I do that equation where I take the maximum amount of time that I can see into the future, and then I break down what I want that goal to be, and then I break it down to weekly.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
So if you can see a year out, you divide that by 52.
Okay. Health, wealth, and love.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, there's a problem here.
Yes.
In math, there's an exponential growth curve. So, for example, I have a client who's doing fitness coaching. He's certified. He's not going to start with 10 clients. So there's a ramp-up phase. So if he sets a goal for the end of... So let's say he sets a goal today for July 31st, 2026, when this drops. That's 52 weeks, but you're not going to start with 10 clients on week 1.
Right.
You have to ramp up 1, then 2, then 4, and then back to 3. And then that's why it's so difficult. And that's why most people who are really successful never hit their goals. If you look at all of my goals over the last 8 years of us working together, I've almost never hit them.
I've been a giant part of most of them, so I have noticed.
Yeah, but I always hit the long one.
Yes.
What's a good metaphor for that? I think some people need to set small goals they hit and build belief. I think other people need to set huge goals that constantly keep them humble.
I agree. Yeah.
I think it depends on macroscopic and microscopic.
A very small percentage.
Yep. So
okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Reflect. This is going to be good. This is going to be my framework. It's going to be my framework. It's going to have my name on it. Reflect, measure.
KP goal setting.
KP goal setting. Simple. Simple, unsexy fundamentals. I don't know. Will we say strategize?
All of this is strategy.
It is. Would we say reshoot?
Let's use a tangible example. Back to the 100K a year. So someone wants to make 100K. They divide that by 52. That's how much they have to make per week.
Yep.
All right.
I guess that's $1,800 a week.
Let's do it. It's almost. So it's $1,923 a week.
That's way more than I thought. Okay, 1923.
So, okay.
Year I was born.
So $1,923 a week. Now they divide that by 40 hours. You have to make at least $48 an hour. And this is USD, by the way. This totally changes based on where you live entirely. Cost of living, everything's different.
Well, the numbers are different, but the way to do it's the same. Right?
Yeah, the way to do it's the same. The currency is different, and the conversion is different, and all that kind of stuff.
All right, so I would say...
And now here's the question. How do you make $48 an hour? That's the question.
Well, there's many different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
There's many.
And that's why it's so hard to choose. This is where we get into, well, what do you love? What are you good at? Strengths and weaknesses. That's why coaching is so...
We're going to save that. We'll save all that. This is going to be baseline, fundamental.
So you have to work 40 hours a week for $48 an hour every week without any vacation, without any time off, unless you have paid time off, in which case you can count that. And then you will make mathematically $100,000 a year. Now remember, that's gross. then there's taxes and expenses and the whole nine, 401k, whatever you do. So hello, NLU listener. Thank you, as always, for listening to Next Level University. Real quick, I just want to jump in and let you know about the Next Level Dreamliner. This is a journal that I use every single day. Achieve your dreams 90 days at a time. It breaks down your dreams into goals, milestones, and daily habits. We hope you enjoy it. The link will be in the show notes.
All right, the third step is going to be, we're going to call it vision back is what we're going to call it for now. Just stay with it.
Mm-hmm. That's basically go as far as you can, right?
Go as far as you can into the future before you lose, and just be honest with yourself about this. Like I remember we were on a podcast one time and Alan was like, how far into the future can you see for yourself? And he was like 5 years, and I was like, no. And then I think you said 3, and I was like, yeah, I can. And then after, I was like, honestly, man, that was a fib. I can't see 3 years. A year max, I'd say, for me. A year max.
Whoa.
I'd say. Okay, so vision back. What we're going to do is based on...
Has that increased over the years?
Yeah, 100%. A year is actually a lot for me. In the beginning, it was like weeks. I didn't... and honestly, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even a conscious thought. I didn't think about it.
Yeah, isn't it weird how if you don't have goals, you won't think about the future, but if you don't think about the future, you won't have goals? You're basically stuck in this
goals
weird
are a pain in the ass. It's the best.
They make everything.
But they make everything terrible.
Immediately, yeah.
They make everything terrible and great at the same time. Okay, reflect, measure, vision back. Look as far out into the future as you can. Paint as clear of a picture of your goals, health, wealth, and love as you can. Then we have to break them down with somewhat simple math. Mm-hmm. Now, not super simple. There's numbers, but if you want to go on 12 dates over the next 12 weeks with your partner, that's 1 date a week. Awesome. Easy. Boom. Check it off.
That's a process goal, though, so that's easier. A results goal is harder because of the exponential.
What would a results goal under relationships be? Go on a trip?
Yeah, it could be save a certain amount for a trip. It could be get engaged, which is save a certain amount for a ring. It could be...
Okay. So process goals is number of...
experiences or workouts or reps. Yeah.
Number of reps.
Yep,
okay.
Number of reps. That's fire.
Results is
outcome.
Physique.
Yep. Outcome.
So results is 10 pounds in 10 weeks. Process is out of the 90 days, I work out 75.
100%.
Okay. Process goals, I would say, is definitely the way to go.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then once you start getting results, which you will, you measure those, and then you can start to create results goals. So when you start a podcast, start out with process goals. Right. Just get an episode a week done. And then once you start getting listens, then you can start measuring that. And then next quarter, you can have the process goal stay of the once a week and then set the listens goal.
For somebody out there who is not great at goal setting yet, do you say to them, run the 3 months, run the quarter, and don't change anything? Mm-hmm. Just do the fucking process. And even if it doesn't feel like you're getting a result, it doesn't matter. Just do the fucking process. Or do you suggest they pivot at some point in the quarter?
Most people, I think, pivot too quickly. So you got to err on the side of do the process longer.
Okay. And I'm as guilty of that as anybody.
And then there's very few people who do the process for a year and a half. I joke with you. You did a process for 2 years, and when you were CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and I went in there because it had been a while. I was busy. And I went in there and I was like, this fucking dude, he didn't change a thing.
Same. Run the system.
Same exact system.
Yeah, run the system.
I have another client who's still running my finance system from 5 years ago. And I went in there not long ago and I started laughing out loud. You do realize this has improved drastically since then, right?
Professionals run the system. Just run the system.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's better than not running the system. Yeah. Ideally, you would iterate and improve the system. But if you don't know the fundamentals underneath how the system was built, you basically are just like, I'm going to run this thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the car breaks down, if you didn't build the car, you don't know how to fix it. You just bring it to the mechanic. Yep. I'm just hoping it doesn't break down. Just keep driving that thing until it does.
Yeah.
All right, we have a couple of minutes left before we get out of here. Reflect, measure, vision back. Okay, so after I do that, then what?
Stay in the process as long as possible until you are certain it is not working.
So commit.
Yeah, commit and do not fucking change anything until you're certain it's not working.
Okay.
If you go a month and a half and you don't even have a lick of results, you're doing something wrong.
Okay.
If you go 3 days and you have no results, nothing's wrong. Nothing is wrong at all. I've gone weeks. I've exercised every day for 3.5 years and I'm still out of shape. Like, you're good. And again, out of shape is relative, okay?
Yes.
But my point is I remember Kevin came to me. He said, dude, it's not working. I said, brother, you've been doing it for 3 fucking months. It is working. Just
3 months is a long time. That's the thing.
I agree. So at the end of the day, if you go for a month and a half and you get zero reward, then you probably want to check in and you most likely are doing the wrong process.
I'm going to fuck you up with something real quick. 3 years in a 50-year timeline is minuscule.
Agreed.
3 years in a year, 3 months in a year is fucking massive.
I know.
That's why for me,
relative.
3 months.
Everything's relative. That's why I always say that.
Yeah. Shout out to Einstein. Shout out to Jeff
The theory
Einstein.
of relativity. It's
I don't know
world-class.
it. I've heard of it, and I'm somewhat familiar with it, but I do know that every action has an equal and opposite
That's
reaction.
Newton, man. That's
Shout out to Jeffrey
how
Newton.
Fucking dare you. Jeffrey Newton.
Shout out to him both.
Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein are the reason we have a lot of things we have, my friend. This microphone, there's a lot of other shit. It's just how
It's
dare
fair.
you.
Look, I shout out. I give him all the love. I give him all the love.
Fucking
All right.
Newton.
Reflect, measure, vision back, commit. I got to change vision back because that's a right piece of shit. But anything, okay, after commit, then what?
You go for at least a month and a half doing the process.
Yep.
You get some results and you measure those, and then you set new goals based on that.
So then you do the same process.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you get, let's say, 50 listens per episode, 3 months in, then you try to get 75. And then you try to get 100. And then and it really does come down to double down on what's working and then figure out what's not working and try to eliminate it. But you can't, and this is the really hard part, you can't get rid of the main thing. This is what I find people doing all the time. And this is a good example. Kevin and I, when Clubhouse was really big, I told Kev, everyone and their mother was trying to get me on Clubhouse. And I said, listen, stay the fucking course. Clubhouse is a fad. No one ever got successful on fads. Well, let me rephrase. People get successful on fads and then they go to the next fad. And those are the party hoppers. Those aren't people who are building real companies. Google wasn't a fad. Okay? The internet is not a fad. So social media is going to be around forever. TikTok might not be. So you can't have your whole company built just on TikTok. That's the way I think. So Clubhouse, I said, brother, it's a fad. This is going to blow over. It might not, and if it doesn't, then we'll get on it. But we're not going to take time and effort off of the podcasting. Podcasting isn't going anywhere for a very, very, very long time. And you can ask me, well, how do you know that? My brain knows that. It's calculating things I can't unpack in 1 minute. So, yeah, go ahead. Wrap this in a bow.
I'm going to wrap this in a bow. Okay, I want you to imagine this is a circle. There's 4 parts to the circle, and in between each one of these words, there's a little arrow pointing up to the next thing. Starts with reflect. So let's look back on our last time we set a goal. Let's say in this example, it was previous quarter. If you didn't set a goal last quarter, when's the last time you set a goal? Let's reflect on it. Let's learn from it. Cool. So we reflect. We measure what happened based on the inputs that we put in. Did we get the goal we wanted? Did we not? Did we get better than we wanted? Whatever. What surprised us? What made sense? All of that. Cool. Now we want to take all that information that we reflected on and measured, and we want to look as far into the future as we can actually see and imagine, and then go, okay, in the next year, I'd like these 3 things to happen. Cool. I'm going to strategize around that, and now I'm going to commit to the next quarter to see how it goes, and I'm going to do the same shit again at the end of the quarter. And but better. Great. 1% improvements along the way.
Yep.
And then just rinse and repeat that forever.
Forever.
Yep.
By the way, 25 years is 100 quarters. You can achieve your dreams in 100 quarters, for sure. But you do it 1 quarter at a time. I didn't mean to overwhelm everyone.
Yeah, it's good. Good. See,
1 quarter at a time.
Yeah, 1 quarter at a time. That's it. I just had the most successful quarter I've ever had in my entire life.
Nice.
Now I'm like, I'm going to find a way to do that, but better. Interesting.
You set a goal 7% higher.
Set a goal, right? And I'm either going to hit it or I'm not, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing. This is exactly how I set goals. Now, Alan has helped me tremendously. It's not like I came up with it. But when we were talking, he's like, dude, you got to set a bigger goal than I said, brother, I don't believe it's possible. It's not going to, I guarantee it's not going to ignite me. It needs to feel like it's possible based on my previous goals and accomplishments.
Yep.
All right. Did we do it justice? Did we do goal setting justice?
Absolutely.
Do we have to do a part 4?
I think we got farther than I've ever gotten on explaining goal setting.
All right, cool. That was the goal?
Which is good. I used to be in front of a whiteboard trying to do goal setting exercises, and I had a YouTube channel back in the day called Real Life Superheroes, and this was really cool because it took me 10 years, but I feel like we got somewhere.
The greatest intro of all time for Real Life Superheroes. It was a great intro.
It was a great intro, wasn't
Yeah, you were ahead of your
time.
time.
Flying over the clouds. Thank you so much. If if you sit there and you're like, I don't know how to do this. This is I love this. I love this. I want to do this every day for the rest of my life. I will make you so successful. It's not even funny. I literally say this to my clients. I will consider myself a fucking failure if you're not wildly successful. And I can actually say that because I'm no longer working with people who aren't if you don't have work ethic and humility, forget it. I can't make you successful. But if you have work ethic and humility, I can make you very successful. It's a formula. It's an equation.
It is.
Kevin has work ethic and humility. So
it's this.
All we have to do is come up with the right recipe and iterate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a post today on Instagram about, it was my whiteboard from when I lived in Worcester, Mass, like 30 minutes from where Alan lives. And it was like 12 habits. It was yoga, micro shake. I used to have my micronutrient shake every day. Exercise.
Can you put a link to that in the show notes? Because I reposted it too.
I don't even know.
Really
yeah, I'll send it over to the team. Yeah. But it's the same thing. It's just different now. Mm-hmm. There's more. And now I have a better idea of what does what. But at that time, I was like, hey, man, give me 12 things I should do to be successful. It's like, all right, these are the 12. Do these.
Yeah. 8 years ago, you hated sales. Now you do sales every day and you're killing it.
I love sales.
Yeah. See?
All right, cool.
Transformation, baby.
Next level lesson.
It's the only wrong answer at this stage is to have no goals. Goal setting is a skill and you can develop it. And the only wrong answer is to just wing it.
Cool. All right. Mine is reflect, measure, vision back, commit. Those are the 4 steps. Are there more steps? Absolutely. Is that a great place to get started? Absolutely. There's a drastic difference between optimal and realistic. Let's start realistically, and then we can optimize as we go. Boom.
Can we get a digital asset of that in the show notes? Or
no, we're not going to have time to make that. What do you think this is? Business Growth University?
Take a photo of it, throw it in for the people. Now, hey, production team, we'll just put this in the show notes. Kevin's going to send you a photo of it. Just throw it in the show notes. I'm sure it'll at least be the steps.
We'll see what we can do. All right, cool. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And look, if you are as focused and as committed to getting to the next level as you say you are, make sure you tune in tomorrow because we're going to be here every single day helping you get to the next level.
Keep reaching for your true potential. Next Level Nation.